the Parsha is der Inyan von Nachlas for Chalukas Eretz Yisrael to Yeder Shevet and to Yeder Yid. One of the new things about our Parsha is about the inheritance and the division of the land of Israel for every tribe and for every Yid. Are we sticking to a one paragraph per guy?
I think if we want to encourage more discussion, we should.
Okay, so we know that every Yid has a piece of Eretz Yisrael that belongs to him, and that means really what it's about is we know that part of the idea of Moshiach coming is the Achdus that brings us all together is because all of us realize that we're not divided, we're all one, and because of that, so there's no one guy that he deserves more than another person. We're all equal, and we all have an equal portion in Eretz Yisrael. We all have an equal portion in our job to serve God, because we're all part of God, mamish, and God is indivisible. So therefore, you have a piece like everyone else does. So that's the Rebbe is starting off the Sikha by saying that this is one of the main. This is the chiddush of the parsha, is that every single yid has a portion in the land of Eretz Yisrael, and that as well goes with the call of the time of the era that all of us have a responsibility to bring Mashiach equally.
Rabbi Yisrael, Shkoyach Levi.
All right. Stehendig bei dem Schwell von der Geula Hamitis Vashlema, standing by the doorstep of it's already going to be the Geula, moving from the Ala Simonia Geula, we geret lacharena kama palmim, as we see that we have a lot of signs that the Geula is already here, as we discussed already many times. Is verstandig, as l'chol rosh hat men davon der Limud benegiert zum Nachlas v'chalugas Eretz Yisrael bepashtus in der Geula. So first of all, we have what to learn out of this simply from the dividing regarding the dividing of Eretz Yisrael b'pashtus, dividing it when Moshiach is going to come back to every shevet that it belongs to. Aber v'bal das mestet nach harega far de geula, since we're on the doorstep, but because we're not just yet by the ultimate revealed geula, is moving as medarf der fun haben alimut eich itzter. So there is some lesson to take even for now, before the ultimate geula revealed itself. Also, there's something about dividing the Eretz Yisrael that again now. It's a lesson that applies even for all times, even for now, before the Geula actually revealed itself. It's an interesting thought that I can't see the timer, by the way, so I'm not sure when I'm running out of time. But maybe break it up higher on the screen, because on the bottom it has everyone else's faces. But it's interesting that when Mashiach is going to come, we're going to be talking in the past about, like, during the time of Galus it was so and so, and during the time of Mashiach it's going to be so and so. It's interesting. That's how we're going to be learning things.
I appreciate that very much. Yes, so please tell me if the timer is good now. I also I press on the Moshiach Collab icon on the bottom, and I just always have that. This is not the best timer, but it'll work for now. Yes, Leimar later, Hayrav von der Temach Tzedek zu Hayir, was hat gewollt, Eule sein, Eretz Yisrael, zu dort schickt sein, mit Terem Avoda. Macht do Eretz Yisrael. Jesus, dass der Telt von Isparsum geworden, durch Quellgedushis Mabecham, hat more zu jeder Eid. Ist verstandig, als der Fuhn wird Hayrav für jeder. Als euch, wenn man gefühlt sich da in Chutzlaretz und in Zman Galus, so viele Rega Achen Shabbat, darf man da in dem Makam Zman machen Eretz Yisrael. Wow. So basically, Tzemach Tzedek told someone that wanted to go and learn Torah and do avodas and all the good stuff in Eretz Yisrael, and he said, "Ma'od Eretz Yisrael." So being that that's already a public story, which I'm very sure the Rebbe is the one that actually made it, really public. Because the Rebbe blames it on everybody else. But so he's saying, obviously, there's an avodah for us to learn right now. There was a discussion we had with one of the students in Jets. He was saying, like, if we're going to divide Eretz Yisrael, you're not getting a very big piece of land. Anyways, okay, Levi.
All right. So, darf man haben Bier. In was besteht die avodah von Machdar Eretz Yisrael. We need clarification. What does the service of Make Here Eretz Yisrael mean? The L'chura, Al Pidin is da, Chutzlar is nit Eretz Yisrael. Seemingly, according to the law, when you say here, da, this is not Eretz Yisrael if you're in Chutz La'aretz. The Shleimus Savay, the B'Torah Mitzvus and Ayidin, is dafke in Eretz Yisrael. K'mavur b'kam Midrash Chazal. You can't say that this is Eretz Yisrael. We see that the completion of the service of a Yid, of Torah Mitzvahs, needs to be specifically in Eretz Yisrael. You can't just say that this is Eretz Yisrael. Und euch sein da in Makkah Zman HaGalus is a Yid mispalel upanav k'neged Eretz Yisrael. Gimel pa'amim b'chol yoyim and also being here in the time and place of Galus, a Yid davens facing specifically Eretz Yisrael, not facing here. 3 times a day we say, and during the week we say, gather all of us together to where? To Eretz Yisrael. So why are we saying that this is here? How do you say that Eretz Yisrael is here? And the question is really big, because how do you tell someone to be in Galus and to be as if he's in Gola, if this is all we're davening for, to be in Gola?
Good. So, by the way, just a little thought about, I want to hear the rest of what that Bacher said in Jets, but just already what you mentioned, that everyone's going to get a small piece. So a few random thoughts that come to mind. Number one is that was probably, first of all, Yerushalayim Tispashit Yisrael and Yisrael Tispashit L'chol Ha'arotzes. So Mistama, in that sense, the Chalakim aren't going to be too small, but even in the sense that they might be small pieces, kind of like the Lechem Apanim maybe, where ultimately there were so many Kohanim that they had to divide mamash like crumbs, or I don't know, I remember something that it was very little pieces that the Kohanim actually ate from the Lechem Apanim. But even that teeny tiny little piece had tremendous impact on their, I don't know, it was very good for them, or it enhanced them, or it satisfied them completely. That's, I think, what it was. So similarly, the idea of having real estate in Eretz Yisrael, when Mashiach comes, the value of even like a square inch or whatever it is, the value of just owning a piece of land in Eretz Yisrael is going to be something that's just the value of it, the value Ruch Shebazeh and the value of Elokus Shebazeh, which is going to be revealed when Mashiach comes. That's going to be something that people are going to go crazy over, that even just owning a square meter of land in Eretz Yisrael altogether is going to be a big deal. It's that you own such a piece. Stamp. Anyway, that's my own thoughts.
So that was such a good answer. I love that. That's amazing. It's genius. You understand? Like the quality of it, it totally overtakes the quantity. So you have an inch, but you could build a huge building and a mansion on this little inch. I didn't think of it like that, because things are okay. That's awesome. That's very good. I mean, the answer we came up with, I love that answer. The answer we came up with is Tzvi Shorts was talking to the student that was over listening, and he was like, he's getting, what do you mean? But you get a piece of land right now. You have nothing. You're trying to tell him you're gonna have something, but he was saying, what if you get a bunch of people together? Then you could build as high as you want. You have a bunch of people, everybody gets their floor, and you could build as high as you want, but you have collaboration. You could have a square block of collaborated people, and then you build up as high as you want, so everybody's got as much place as they want. Anyways, I like your answer, though, very much. I also love this question that the Rebbe is asking. What do you mean, Machdar Eretz Yisrael? It's not Eretz Yisrael. What kind of advice is that? The fact you're saying da means it's not Eretz Yisrael. Okay, it's a good question. So especially nowadays where it's like, right, all the signs of Goal is already here. So so right now you want me to accomplish something like this? Levi.
So in was besteht the Hayra Machda Eretz Yisrael. So what is, and we have a rule now, I can't go more than a paragraph. So what is this direction? What's this, the Hayra, the lesson of make here Eretz Yisrael? And what's funny is when you were reading Isaac, Hine Zeh Mashiach Ba, so it's almost like saying Hine Zeh Mashiach Da, which is the same, the question of what we're asking, Machda Eretz Yisrael. and there's also kind of, we see that the Rebbe, you were saying that the Rebbe publicized this possibly even more than the Frierdiker Rebbe, and we do know that the Rebbe did take the idea of Machda Eretz Yisrael and turned into Machda Geula, where the Rebbe says to start living with Geula already now. And which is really, it's taking the line of Machda Eretz Yisrael and turning it into a much, much bigger thing, which is obviously the true intent of what the Tzemach Tzedek was telling this man. Instead of trying to run places and to wait for some special trip and to feel some kind of special thing in the air, do it now. Start living Geula now, because we're on the doorstep of the Geula. And so really, the Rebbe wants to know what there needs explanation.
Rabbi Yisrael.
Okay. All right. ובפרט, אז ברגע של האחרי זה, geht man schon הריס von Golus, und man geht in Eretz Yisrael kipshuta. I like these phrases that the Rebbe just lays it down for what it is. Befrat, as we know for a fact that this is the fact. The fact is that in this moment, after this one that we're talking right now, guys, just letting you know, we're going out of Golus. I mean, we're going into Eretz Yisrael, Kipshuta. So what is the lesson that is pertinent right now in this moment, since the one afterwards is already going into Geula? So there must be a lesson that applies somehow to know about it now, and it still works, even knowing that in a second from now when Moshiach comes, it's going to be a different story, but it's still pertinent right now to know about it before, the next moment that it's already Geula. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank about any further thoughts, so I'm going to break the rule and start reading Eis Beis Derweile. Vet men es verstehen behektim an ihnen beparsha seinu. So let's start seeing something from our parsha. Wenn geht zu Chalukas Eretz Yisrael, was is given al pia geiro, wie gesagt beparsha seinu. So dividing Eretz Yisrael happened according to geiro. So then Rashi brings Rashi from Midrash Chazal as a geiro hoye medaber. Okay, go ahead.
A girl atme hoye tzavoyach, I think that's how you pronounce it. V'omer ani a girl lisi ligboil pleni l'shevet pleni. So we have that you're dividing the lands, and the girl itself, right? Rashi explains, and Midrash Chazal explained that the girl itself announced that this piece of land is going to go to this shevet, this specific shevet. So it's really cool. By the way, I'm like I got lit very fast. Like we just started, and I felt like on fire already. So thank you very much, guys. And also, we don't always have to feel pressure to, if you want to pass it, we can pass it. I think what's good is that everybody gets to give the input. I thought that was the idea. I wanted to mention something. Anyways, okay, so that's it. Rabbi Levi, go ahead.
Okay. So let's start with reading a little more. So what he says here, darfen verstehen. So we need to understand the Tam und the Te'eles von dem Ness. What kind of miracle is this? That a raffle should scream out people's names and which portion they get? Who needs such a miracle? The Eibishter macht doch nicht an Ness Magna. I think the word is Lamagna. I guess where it means for no reason. The Eibishter doesn't just make miracles, just whatever. Is Salib was hat gemacht im Ness as a Geidel hayim. So what was the necessary point in this raffle to speak? Men valt euch gehad dem Biddur b'nei getzach lukas haaretz gvul pleini l'shevet pleini al pi ha-Geidel wie das is by der Geidel bli Ness as a Geidel medaber. We would have had the same result, the same clarification about who gets which part, if it was just simply a raffle and you picked it out and you looked at the note, and the note says you get this piece of land without the Ness of the raffle speaking. What's going on with a raffle speaking? What kind of miracle is this? So miracles, in general, everything's a miracle. If you look around, we just got used to things. Someone said that if a man would be born with the knowledge of a 20-year-old, You know, so on the day that he's born, he would literally just go crazy the entire time. He would go, wow, the sun is rising. Oh my goodness, everyone is getting light from this thing. And look, oh my God, look at this tree. And there's fruits and he can eat it and it tastes delicious. So miracles, everything's a miracle. So what's so special about a raffle speaking?
Okay. Oh yeah, okay, so you finish that paragraph. As the Rebishter hat gewollt beweisen Jeden, as der Geule is an emesser inen al pi Hashem, und nicht ba'akroi. So maybe you could think that something that answers this is that if the Geirel is announcing the results, it shows that there's an element of the Eibishter is really running the show here, added to the fact that it's a Geirel. A Geirel might seem like it's random, and people might think, well, maybe it random, it came out as a mistake or something. No, this is still directed by the Eibishter, because look, the Geirel itself is announcing. That's a miracle. It shows that it's still being operated by the Eibishter. So I could have answered it a little, but the Rebbe says, "Is there zushen given a friedigen nest, was hat bewiesen as a girl hoya al piroch kodesh." There was already a nest that proved this point. Elazar HaKohen hoya melubash ba'urim v'sumim, va'emer baruch HaKodesh im shevet pleni oile tchum pleni oile imoi. The Urim, so he already got from Baruch HaKodesh that this shevet should get this part. Was das hat bewiesen even as the girl is emes und yasher. That showed that this was ordained by the Eibusher and it was the true results. Is to leave was hat man gedarf ankommen zu a nest as a girl hoye medaber. So what was this additional nest? There must have been a particular purpose with a lesson to learn out of from the fact that the girl hoye medaber.
Yishleimer Rabbi Yerbezeh. Überall ist der Eibusher hat angesagt, dass ach begirl yechelik is aretz. Apil girl yechelik nachlase nachlasa mes aretz begirl. Und darf gar der Girl ach begirl und nicht bei von acher. Der Pfarrer die Chaluka und der Büro von Kol Chelik Ba'aretz gedarf sein durch dem Girl atzmei, nicht durch an anderem Sach. So therefore, Yeshlemer, we could say that since it says only through the girl will Hashem divide the land. Hashem says, I'm going to divide the land. He quotes a few psukim. And basically saying specifically through the girl. That means not in any other way is this going to be done. Well, through the girl itself, that is how the land's got to be apportioned. I guess that's the right word. So I'm learning this with Tzvi, and Rabbi Tzvi says he came out with a song a little bit ago called Junity. Yes, so it's a unity, Junity. He has a whole rap, a song, whatever. And he's like, but once I put it out, I lost the song. So now whenever I need to listen to it, I need to go onto YouTube to hear my own song. So he says, if there's any more chutzah than this, so I'm thinking like the actual YouTube itself, or like the girl. What do you mean the girl itself is speaking? I don't know, like the computer itself. I'm trying to put in the concept of how do we relate to it?
Shloimar, as the Riber is euch der Birur ba'amitis in a Geirel gewend durch dem Geirel Atzmei. Ha Geirel Atzmei hoye tzevei achulu. That's why specifically the Geirel would actually say it himself. But because if it's possible to have a doubt, if the raffle was just by chance, which is Ruach HaKodesh, and you need to come to something else to tell you, no, really, it wasn't just by chance. It's really the way it's supposed to be. So beweisen as das is emes und to show that it's true and aligned. Beweis das as der Geirel allein tut nicht auf die Chalukas Aretz b'shleimus. This shows that the raffle itself does not accomplish dividing the land completely. When the Faris Hagayel Atzmei Hayetzeveachlo, therefore the raffle himself was screaming the names in the land. Durch dem hat der Geirel Atzmei aufgetan b'shleimus die Chalukas, and now that it was screaming, so the raffle himself completely did the division the way God intended, the way the Eibusher said, Ach begeirel, only the geirel should decide. Allein gesagt, bei from Baruch Regoli as Gvul plainly the plainly, he himself said that this is what goes to who. That's where the geirel himself was listening to the Eibusher. And so this, in fact, I guess maybe the Rebbe will say this clearly, but we can already see what's going on over here. Is that what a miracle this is? That when the Eibusher says something, that even a geirel has to listen, and this the Eibusher specifically wanted the geirel to do it, nothing else.
Sir, I gotta go off mute.
Sorry, my bad. I have a technical issue here, which is that the PDF that I received ends here. I don't have the further pages. So, Rabbi Isaac, if you can prepare another page or two or put it up on the screen over there. Otherwise, I see Ha'ara 12 maybe has a bit of a something. So let me just read that for now. Right, this pshat itself, the fact that the Goyrol itself was speaking, that comes out of the understanding of the words that al pi hagoyrol. Who says that that's the pshat that we have to understand from those words? Who says that that's the correct understanding? Even though we try to understand that from the fact that there's this extra word in the pasuk al pi hagoyrol, because earlier it says that with a goyrol, it says directly the word goyrol. It doesn't say al pi hagoyrol. So the fact that it says al pi now must mean that we learn now that we say it literally. But the Rebbe says so you could use that al pi to mean something else. Al pasuk al pi hagoyrol bal haisiv shenischalka beurim besumim. So the Gemara learns from that Chalukas Haaretz happened with Urim and Sumim. Oh, I think I finished.
I don't know. I definitely posted it already.
I got whatever. The PDF I think that you sent me had 2 pages in it, but
no, but I posted I posted to everybody. No.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me have a look.
Yeah, I should have. But I wanted to mention some idea. Oh, so something that I just relate to. Okay, I'll read a little further and then I'll say it. Although I think we're out of time already. So I'll say it first. So basically, every day after davening, I'm giving my own confessions here. Every day after davening, I attempt to, I say Yechi, say Moshiach now, I say all the good stuff. Whatever, I don't know. Some people like it, some people ignore it, whatever, it is. Anyways, but in my house, I have a water machine. And one time I discovered that I could set what it says on the water machine. So I said on the water machine that it says the Rebbe's Mashiach. Like, I sat there, doing each letter. It takes, forever because there's no buttons. It's, one button. But that, people are taking water oh, my gosh, look what it says here. That was exciting. And the water machine told it to them. They were excited about it.
Yeah, that actually goes well with the Alter Rebbe explains that the beauty of davening is that it's, for example, a king that's in a bad mood, and the only thing that can get the king out of a bad mood is when they bring a parrot, and the parrot starts speaking to the king, and the king laughs and gets out of his mood. Why? Because a parrot, that's a chiddush, for someone to make jokes, big deal. When a parrot speaks, the same thing is, the Alter Rebbe explains, when a yid davens, so it's a chiddush, that a yid, he has a nefesh b'hamis, he has all sorts of desires and a beautiful world around him, yet he's sitting here and he's davening, and in the best time of his day, in the early morning, when everyone's doing their own stuff before work, and this guy's davening, that's a chiddush, and that makes the Eibusha laugh. So this darf noch aber haben wir. This still needs to have explanation. The Inyan Hagoydol is nitkin Inyan la'atzmai. The concept of a raffle is not a thing for itself, not a mittel. And if Chalukas Haaretz Yishuv Haaretz, it's a tool. It's what you, in order to divide the land and to settle the land, you're making a raffle. The dibur from them Geirel is nit negea zum etzem Chalukas Haaretz al pi haGeirel, and das is a davar study l'chura. So according to this, the same thing when the Geirel is speaking, that's not the actual division of the land. That's just like something that you need in order to get there. It's a side thing, seemingly. If amitas haGeirel, it's a verification tool. It's a method, like saying, oh yeah, this is real. Or to the farsam davar, to make it known.
Okay, I just finally opened up the PDF. Where are we up to exactly? Which page, roughly, which line, so I can quickly catch up?
Page 148, towards the end of the first paragraph.
Okay, so Islamai nafkamin ochlugas eres if der bir ba'amiti sein an agreel prisma davar kommt durch der Geirel atzmai oder ba'efen acher. So what is ultimately the difference if we see that the girl itself is announcing this who's getting which part of the land, or if this message, this idea, comes out in some other way, perhaps through Ruach HaKodesh, through Ruach HaKodesh, other Al Pi Hashem, so is there something, is there a specific significance, and probably what the Rebbe is going for over here is that there must be some sort of particular significance about the fact that the Gerel itself is the one announcing it, and that's how we understand this point, not through some other means. Apparently, even if the Gerel itself isn't the entity that's announcing it, we could still achieve the general idea that we're trying to achieve, which is to divide the land. So there must be some significance about the fact that the Gerel itself is the one that's delivering that message, that this is a real verified division.
Okay. Ad Kana Kaf Aleph. Let's see if I could, if they let me finish this.